Hey everybody, thanks for coming to watch the show. Boba Fett has always been a source of interest and fan excitement in the Star Wars universe, but despite his popularity, he rarely gets any screen time or attention. There's definitely no shortage of merchandise sporting his likenesses or symbols, but as far as actual info on the character, there's not a whole lot to be seen unless you dig pretty deep into the Star Wars lore. Because of that, I wanted to share a few cool facts about Boba Fett that you may not know. These are going to range from facts about his character development to interesting information about his character that you won't find in the Star Wars movies. So, with that in mind, let's get right into it.
This is only a black and white tape, and he looks totally white. The concept of Boba now is going to be a multicolored fellow.
Boba Fett has an iconic appearance and can be recognized by pretty much everyone, whether they know Star Wars well or not, but his costume wasn't always the same as it is now. In this short video released at a Star Wars celebration, we see a behind-the-scenes look at his original white armor. Upon his conception, Boba was originally supposed to be a high-ranking elite version of a stormtrooper, according to various sources that I've found. This eventually changed into what we know him as now, but his white armor lives on in the way of merchandise that still shows him as all white. His costume was also slightly cosmetically different in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, with several notable things, such as he had a green cape instead of a brown cape, his gauntlets were red instead of green, he had gray coveralls instead of blue coveralls, and he had a different weapon for each movie. His jetpacks were also different, with one being blue with a silver rocket and the other being entirely dark green. This is kind of a little bonus fact for any of you that love Legos, but you might also be interested to know that Lego Boba Fett has had a lot of interesting changes over the years as well, ranging from his first appearance in Slave 1 that was released in 2000. Boba Fett's next version came in 2003 in the Cloud City set, and this version of Boba Fett was exclusive to that set. He went through a lot of other major redesigns, beginning with the 2010 version, which had an actual helmet, cape, and jetpack that was separate from the jetpack and helmet that was in previous versions. In 2014, he was again updated, and then again in 2016, which is the current version that we have. The most notable appearance of Boba Fett in the expanded universe is his presence in the book series The Bounty Hunter Wars, where it is revealed that Fett actually lived after falling into the Sarlacc pit in Return of the Jedi, and then teams up with many other bounty hunters, such as Dengar and IG-88. It's been a while since I've read those books, but if you want a more in-depth look at Fett, you should definitely take a look at that series, as it's very good and possibly the best EU look at Boba. Not much has been said about him since Disney took over, although he is mentioned a couple of times in the book Aftermath, and his armor is referred to as being salvaged by Jawas and bought by someone on Tatooine. Boba also showed up briefly in the Clone Wars animated TV show, where he tried to kill Mace Windu and avenge his father, and he was planned to eventually don his iconic green armor, but this unfortunately didn't happen in the show. Footage of the unfinished episode was, however, released at a Star Wars convention for all to see, as you can see of this person's shaky cam that I put up on the screen here. This showed him going toe-to-toe with Cad Bane, another notorious bounty hunter. It's a shame that Boba is so loved by the Star Wars fans, but he never seems to get the full on-screen treatment that so many want to see. But it was still kind of neat to see this little behind-the-scenes feature of him appearing in that episode. We all know that Boba first showed up in the movies in The Empire Strikes Back, but his first public appearance was actually at a 1978 parade where he appeared alongside other Star Wars characters like Darth Vader for a promotion for Empire Strikes Back. This led to speculation that he would actually have a major role in that film, and apparently this was the original idea before major changes were made to the script. The original idea would have been that Fett was Darth Vader's right-hand man and would have been the main antagonist for that film. I personally would have loved that, but we just have to hold on to hope that one day Fett will get his own movie, or at least be a more major part in another movie. Fett also appeared later on in that same year in the now infamous Star Wars Holiday Special, which is completely garbage save for a short animated movie starring Luke, R2-D2, C-3PO, Han, Leia, Chewie, and Boba Fett. While the rest of the holiday special is completely terrible, the animated short film is actually pretty good, and I would recommend checking it out. You can find it on YouTube pretty easily, and it's worth a watch in my opinion if you're somebody like me that just wants to know all there is to know about Boba Fett. But that's gonna about do it for my behind the scenes facts on Boba Fett. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know down in the comments and tell me about another character you'd like me to do this for. It doesn't have to be from Star Wars, I'm a man of many interests. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter for channel and video updates and random thoughts from yours truly. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.